Every womanizer, every player, every guy juggling 3 broads at the same time is only doing so out of fear. Fear of being crushed by a woman. Because one day, back in the day, they weren't a player. They liked one girl. Just one.
And they gave it up to her, didn't
And
they?
they gave it up to her. That's right. They gave it up to her because they were little romantics back then. And they gave it up to the girl they loved. And what happened? They got rocked, or they got crushed, or they got destroyed, they got cheated on, or laughed at, or something. And when they're finished picking up the little pieces of what was once their heart, you know what they said? Every single one of them made a vow.
Never to give it up again.
That's right, never to give it up again. But now we're talking about the real bastards here, the guys that break hearts occupationally. Because believe it or not, originally those cats were the most beautiful and the most romantic of all. And you know what happened? They're the ones that got hurt worst of all.
About these are the options that are being presented to you. Less. Take off more clothes, do the most to get attention, right? If you think that that's freedom, the idea that you have to wear less and the idea that you have to get naked to be heard, you really think that's a form of freedom? Because that's not. That's slavery. That's bondage. I didn't have to take off my clothes to be heard in society. And these women will realize that when you follow these people that are self-imposed feminists. I'm a feminist. I do this. I'm a feminist. You hear that word over and over and over again. You'll find that the majority of them are miserable. Look at their lives and ask yourself a question. Do you think they are happy? Do you feel good when you do what they do? Right? When you're constantly looking for a dopamine hit from social media because you took your clothes off and you want somebody in your comments, a thirst trap with your ass out, right? And you want someone in your comments going, "Oh, you slay, bae. You slayed the day, bae." Hashtag Tuesdays, am I right?
Yeah.
And you do this stuff for attention, and you're devaluing yourself, and at the end of the day you don't actually feel good, and it's not going to bring you happiness, right? So yeah, you can get guys sliding in your DM, you can get guys telling you look good, you can get guys that want to sleep with you. How many of these people actually get guys that want to stay with you, right? Are not in somebody else's DM. The same way that you found him is the same way he's going to find somebody else, because we are increasingly becoming a part of a society that's ADHD. You want to know why our grandparents stayed together? Because they weren't looking at ass cheeks all day on Instagram and refreshing it and going, oh, well, that girl looks younger, that girl looks better, that girl's face tuned, and I think that is what these young women that they're following are telling them. You've got 13-year-olds getting lip injections, right? Because they want to look like Kylie Jenner. Again, not a shot to Kylie Jenner, but what society have we created that ever made Kylie Jenner feel like she had to go out and buy those lips, that she had to contour her entire face and change her entire body? She was already a beautiful little girl. So the society is ill. It's not normal, right? Don't let these people convince you that that's normal. That's cancer, and that cancer will become contagious to you if you accept that. You don't follow better role model.
Here's the reality. In today's world, a man is expected to bankroll every aspect of dating. He's the one footing the bill for dinners, drinks, and nights out. Don't forget the cost of that fancy car and the gas to keep it running. And let's not even get started on the overpriced gifts and the expensive home he's supposed to provide just to keep her around. Essentially, if a man doesn't have money, he's considered worthless in the modern dating scene. And that's one of the biggest issues today. Most women today, they're nothing but troublemakers, lacking any real skills or talents. Gone are the days when women could cook, clean, love you unconditionally, have kids, take care of the house, and stand by you through thick and thin. Now, they come into relationships with zero care, no skills, and even less desire to stick around when things get tough. It's no wonder why more and more men are finding it impossible to date or marry Western women. The whole thing just isn't worth it anymore. Women have turned themselves into entitled, manipulative, and aggressive individuals who are just too difficult to deal with. Honestly, who wants to come home to that every day?
A woman will never love you, especially never love you for you. A woman only loves your approval. Okay, a woman only desires to love and intimately chase your approval and your validation. The crucial point to this that majority of men do not understand is that a man's attraction and a man's love for a woman only grows in time spent. A woman's attraction and a woman's love for a man only grows in time apart. Therefore, it is never, and I mean never, in a man's best interest to spend lots of quality time with a woman. You're going to notice a decrease in desire, a decrease in attitude. She's going to be colder, ruder, and more masculine, and you're going to notice a decrease in sexual intimacy that she has for you.
Red flag.
flag number 7 is when she has guy friends. There's some rare scenarios where like a guy and a girl are old childhood friends and there's legitimately no sexual tension between them, but almost always when a guy and a girl are friends, there's some degree of sexual tension. And even if the girl's not interested in the guy, a lot of times the guy has been friend zoned and he's just like hanging around to see if he gets an opportunity down the line. And if you're talking to a girl and you notice that she regularly hangs out one-on-one or even just texts one-on-one with other guys, she likes the validation. Those guys are waiting to swoop in if they can.
And a lot of times, like, girls that have a lot of guy friends, they have one foot out the door in a relationship and they have like a lineup waiting for like, oh, if this relationship ends, it's okay because I have all these other guys that are interested in me.
And then she never even fully invests into the relationship with you in the first place. How many guy friends you got?
0, but I'm friends with a lot of your friends.
That's different though. Like, if I would want my girlfriend or my wife to be friends with my friends. It'd be weird if she wasn't.
Dating may still be a thing, but let's face it, it's evolved into something unrecognizable. Sure, some people still cling to the idea of conventional relationships, but the rise of online dating has thrown a wrench into the mix. Now, everyone's spoiled for choice, especially those at the top of the desirability food chain. They've become pickier and, let's be real, more unpredictable. Women today are financially independent and no longer feel the old-school pressure to tie the knot. And why would they? They've got endless options at their fingertips. But here's the kicker. The whole concept of dating has shifted. It's no longer about pairing up to build a life together. It's become more about convenience and less about commitment, especially if kids aren't in the picture. If there's no plan to have children, what's the point of being in a couple anyway? At least in the past, those who were single without kids, like nuns, monks, and priests, contributed to society in meaningful ways, roles that married folks with kids couldn't always fill. Let's talk about the so-called 20%ers, the men that all modern women seem to drool over. These guys are the six-figure earners, 6 feet tall, with chiseled bodies and oozing confidence. And because these women refuse to settle for less, you've got a whole generation of single, lonely women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s chasing after the same few guys. Guess what? There aren't enough of these men to go around, so the lucky ones have a harem of options to rotate through while the rest of the men, who are perfectly decent, are left in the dust. Take me, for example. I make more than the average guy, but because I'm not raking in 6 figures, I've been turned down by women who earn a fraction of what I do. These women, some making a laughable $20,000 to $30,000 a year, still think they deserve a man who can provide a luxury lifestyle. The entitlement is staggering. Women are told to focus on their degrees and careers before even thinking about relationships or families. But when they finally decide they want a man, they clash with the very men they want to be with. These women want to be the breadwinners and dominate the relationship. But guess what? 2 dominant personalities don't mix well, and neither do 2 submissive ones. Relationships need balance, one masculine and one feminine, or they're doomed to fail. Biology doesn't lie, and neither do the laws of the universe. So here's what's going to happen. In 2024 and beyond, men will continue to quietly opt out, leaving these women to figure out where they went wrong. Spoiler alert, it won't end well for them. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.